Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do in this game. Depends on what you really want to do. I mean, you could probably just go through the main story and focus on that. One thing I do have to look up is whether there's a different ending, because I have been seeing things about, like, true ending, or explaining the ending and stuff. I didn't look at it. I mean, you know, when I look stuff up and I use a guide, it will say, like, or they'll have it broken up into chapters, right? So, oh, let me grab this. Better up. Did not do anything. But, you know, it'll usually show the chapters, and then, like, for the last one, it says ending explained, and I think I saw true ending too, which makes me think, are there multiple endings for this game? Like, does it depend on how much stuff you do throughout the game? I don't know. So I need to look that up, but yeah, I'm not too surprised. Well, I guess I am sort of surprised about the ending, but I was expecting an ending where Atreus is like not here anymore. See, I was expecting Atreus to, like, either Atreus or Kratos to die. Like, that's what I was afraid of. Because, you know, even though I've been trying to avoid as many spoilers as possible.
I wonder how many of these fragments of Asgard there are.
A realm's worth at least, so I'd say we have our work cut out for us.
Is there a chest around here? There it is. So yeah, I've been trying to avoid spoilers as much as possible. That's another reason why I wanted to finish the game today. But there are times where, you know, somebody will tweet like, you know, I cried at the ending of God of War Ragnarok and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh no, that's not good. And then it's like, is it happy cry or is it sad cry? And it's kind of both for this game. Because you're happy that Atreus is moving on, he's growing up, you know, you feel like a proud dad. And then you're also sad because, you know, he's not going to be there anymore. But that does set up like DLC for this game, or, you know, another God of War game. Maybe a God of War game where we get to focus on Atreus instead of Kratos. And I'm sure we'll, like, have Kratos show up at some point. I mean, maybe it'll be like a 2-storyline game where we follow both Atreus and Kratos, and eventually their paths will converge at some point. I don't know, that's what I'm thinking, but I don't know. It's just like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think I pretty much said all I wanted to say about that. But yeah, it was fun to go through this game. I really enjoyed the story. A lot more than I thought I would. Now I did see that some people were saying the pacing issues were kind of weird for this game, and it's like, I can kind of see that. Because there were times where, you know, things are making we're making progress in the story, and then all of a sudden we're like, okay, time to stop and do some side stuff, and then we spend a lot of time doing side stuff, and then back to the main story, and it's like, what happened in the main story again? I kind of forgot. And then, you know, jumping between Kratos and Atreus was cool, but some of Atreus's quests involved a little too much, like, busy work. And with Angerboda, we were like going to pick, I don't know, berries or something for the animals. And then for when we were with Odin, you know, he's making us do this fetch quest for his mask and stuff. And there were times where in Asgard we were like walking around just trying to meet everybody, and it's like kind of slowed things down a lot. But I don't know. And I'm not sure what the best way to go through this game is. Like, do you just focus on the main story? You focus only on the main story and then worry about side stuff later, or do you kind of mix it up? I mean, I tried to mix it up as much as I could, but again, you end up spending so much time on the side stuff, you kind of forget what's going on with the main story. But anyway, you know what? I should mark this on my map. Yeah, I didn't have too many issues with this game. Story was great, gameplay was great. I mean, the acting was great in this game too. Like, this is the most emotion we've seen out of Kratos ever, I think. I mean, in the original series, yeah, he was screaming a lot and yelling, but that's mostly just anger. In this game, you can see a lot of it. You know, we see him sad, we see him feeling proud, we see him getting angry. The only time he said boy in this game was when Atreus ran away to what is it? Asgard. The only time he ever said boy. Every other time he called him Atreus, which was pretty good character development, because in the first game, you only ever heard boy. It became a joke.
Profane alternate lyrics to my ballads. Absolutely disgusting. But now I wish I could remember.
Anyway, we saw a lot of emotion out of Kratos in this game, and it was a lot of his facial expressions. That's where you saw a lot of the emotion. Like, there was a lot of times where I saw his lip quivering, and, you know, there were times where he was looking at Atreus and he's like, just looks like he's proud of him and stuff. And it was really good. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll see what happens.
Paperwork that man created for me. I had to build a chest just for his violations. A big one.
I taught him 20 different ways to cold forge a bolster. Once, he taught me a slightly easier method of wire pulling, and from that day on called me his apprentice.
A true asshole he was. Gods, I'm gonna miss him.
Hi, y'all made it. Just about to send him off.
I was gonna create a save, but I kind of forgot. All right.
I have met many on my travels. You are one of the few I would call friend.
I always thought you were one of the dumbest creatures I'd ever met. Didn't expect you to be the bravest, too.
This world is a darker place for your leaving it.
We're taking him to the Sphaired Sands. It's, in the wetlands near the ferry. We'll wait for you there.
Okay, well, see, that's why I originally went over there, because I thought that's where the mission was going to take place, but, alright, well, this is probably the worst part of the game. We lost Brock. I mean, it was a really big twist, like, very surprising, but, yeah, so long, Brock. And he was a cool character, you know? I like the characters that add comic relief. And most of the time I think Brock was that character. Brock and Mimir, they both add that comic relief that is kind of necessary in games like this, where there might be like a heavy emotional story behind it. I don't know. But you know, characters like Brock and Mimir make me love this game even more. And it sucks that Brock is dead, but it also makes killing Odin a lot more satisfying. And also, you know, once we learned about Brock being dead already and just being resurrected by Sindri, that is one thing that may have hinted at what was going to happen to Brock. I mean, they were talking about, you know, death and everything with Brock and stuff. You know, with the fact that he's already been resurrected and everything. So maybe that was a hint. Maybe there's other hints throughout the game. I mean, they were talking about how he had no soul. That's why the lady in the water couldn't see him. You know, when he found out that he had already died before. I mean, maybe that was some foreshadowing. Very vague foreshadowing, but maybe. It'll be interesting to go through this game again, though. Because now that I know the ending and everything, will I be able to pick up on some of the stuff? That for some of the foreshadowing, some of the hints at what's going to happen in the game. Especially with Tyr. Like, are there going to be hints to Tyr's true identity? I don't know. I don't really remember. I mean, this game did take me, what, like 50 hours? I think we're at like 51, I think. I can take a look. We're almost at 51. 51 hours, and I'm still not done with the game. I still have to do all the side stuff. So, I'm gonna guess maybe another 10 to 20 hours left. Like, I'm overestimating at that point, so. If that's the case, I mean, that's pretty good. Game took quite a while to beat, but it didn't feel like it didn't feel like there were too many moments where it's like, this is a waste of time. For some of the exploration stuff, sure. Some of it did feel like I was wasting my time, but for the most part, it didn't feel like a waste because I was trying to do everything in the game. I wanted to complete that checklist. So, yeah, pretty much we've had 50 hours of just greatness so far. And I really enjoy this game. I'm gonna keep saying that, you know. This is a masterpiece, you have to play it. And play God of War 2018 as well. Because that game is just as good. And I don't know if like one's better than the other. Because, I mean, in the first game the story was relatively simple. I mean, it's pretty much just go to Jotunheim and spread the ashes. That's it. I mean, there was stuff that happened throughout the game, but overall, that's the main storyline. Maybe this one is just, I don't know. It's like leading to Ragnarok, I guess. Also, I do have to say, I am glad that they kind of wrapped up the story for this game. Like, we don't have a cliffhanger with, like, Odin and Thor being alive. You know? It's not like, well, as far as we know, Odin is dead. He's not going to be threatening this place anymore.
Damn it.
What is wrong?
I should have changed. Sewn some mourning garb. We're not dressed properly.
We're fine. Dwarves don't typically require formal wear at funerals.
Brock certainly would not.
Perhaps.
Phil, now you've got me thinking of what I might look like with some jewellery around my neck stump. Maybe some gold woven into my beard. That'd be quite fetching, eh?
Thanks for trying.
over here. Yeah, so as far as we know, you know, Odin is gone,
There they are.
and Atreus is moving on.
Oh, come on, surely he'll be along. It's his brother.
Let's hope so. Loss can do things to a man. You made it. We can begin.
Alright, hang on. So, you know, we have Odin gone, Atreus is moving on to other things. It's kind of like Kratos and Atreus' story have wrapped up. And as far as we know, the story of, you know, trying to get Odin and stuff, the whole Ragnarok thing is just over. But, you know, it is open-ended enough for them to make a sequel if they want to. Now, like I said, they could go follow Atreus on his journey to find the other giants or whatever he's gonna do. And then maybe Kratos could show up at some point. Or maybe we'll have another Kratos game where we're following Kratos. Or maybe we'll follow both Atreus and Kratos. And Odin, like, I hope that he's just gone. But because his soul was put into that stone, or that marble, whatever it's called, I don't know. Because his soul was in there and then Sindri just broke it, does that mean the soul is gone forever, or did it just get released into whatever? I don't know. Because they could go with that if they want to bring Odin back, you know, like, oh, his soul actually escaped to Valhalla or something, and then now he's back. I hope that they don't do that. I hope they just move on to another villain. You know, maybe we can see Kratos move on to another ancient civilization. That would be cool. You know, go like ancient Egypt or ancient China, or, you know, go see the Maya or the Aztec or something like that. The Inca, that would be cool. I am half Peruvian, so seeing some Inca stuff would be cool. But anyway, the game is open-ended enough to where they can continue this series, and I hope they do, because this has been great. However, I don't want them to rush it. You know, I'm surprised. It doesn't feel like it's been 4 years since God of War 2018, but it has. Like, it feels like it's been less than 4 years, but it also feels like, you know, it's been quite a while. It's weird. We're in weird times. But, anyway, if they make another game, I'm definitely going to play it, so. Alright, let's, I don't know what to call it, but, we're to send Brock off on his final journey. Get the tissues ready.
I love you. Sindri. Brock was...
A hole.
What?
Gets bigger the more you take away.
Oh. I guess that... Maybe that was the true ending. Oh, I did not expect that. Okay, so... I wonder if things will change if I... Okay, we'll see. But anyway... That is it for Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok, I guess. I'm glad we finally got the answer to that riddle. Unfortunately, I wish Brock would have been able to tell us. And honestly, I thought Mimir was saying like, because Kratos had said Brock was, and then that was it. And then the next thing Mimir says is a-hole. And I thought he was, you know, making a joke like Brock was an a-hole or something, because that seems like something Brock would say. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he liked that riddle, because a hole, you can say it as a hole, and you know, Brock has a potty mouth, so it would make sense. But anyway, I really enjoyed that game. So I'm gonna load up an old save, you know, like before we did this this thing with Brock, because I don't know if that ending is gonna change depending on if we do everything in the game and then go, you know, send Brock off. I don't know. I have to look at these endings and see if there are different endings. But, you know. Anyway, I'll worry about that later. So, like I said, this game, absolutely amazing. Definitely a roller coaster, I feel like. You know, there's some moments where we're just like kicking ass and having fun, and you know, things are happening in the story and stuff. And there's some moments where it's just like things slow down, and then there's other moments where, you know, they're really tough. I mean, everything with Brock at the end here has been pretty tough. You know, Brock was a very likable character, at least for me. I liked him in the first game. I like him in this game. I feel like his death was kind of necessary for the story, just to make it was more impactful. That's what I feel like. It was a very impactful death, which is what they want, you know. Usually, you want the player to feel strong emotions and stuff, and because they killed off a character that was, I would say, a fan favorite, maybe? I don't know, he was one of my favorite characters, so killing him off definitely made me feel devastated a little bit, and it made me want to kill Odin, which I think was the goal. Like, that was the main goal. Like, you want vengeance. So it seemed like his death was necessary, but man, and then Sindri's reaction to it, like, completely different character. I mean, but it's understandable. You know, it's his brother, and he loves his brother. Also, this song is pretty good. They were playing this song at the Video Game Awards, I think, and they were showing some stuff on screen, and I was like, oh my god, is this spoilers? And then I was trying to look away, and I was trying not to listen to the song too much, but it's pretty good. Hopefully I don't have to mute it. If there are copyright issues, I might have to mute music, so you can just disregard everything I'm saying right now. But anyway, yeah, Sindri completely changed into a different character. I mean, he was pretty important in the end game. I mean, he is the one who killed Odin, as far as we know. But, man, it sucks. It sucks that Sindri is pretty much no longer our friend, as far as we know. Like, maybe if we give him time, he will come back to us or something. But I don't know, it feels like it's just the friendship there is over. And he was another comic relief. Or yeah, is that the way you say it? I don't remember. But he was funny as well. But he does have a reason to be mad at us, and I understand that. I mean, like, the reason why Odin was at his place was because he gave us that refuge. He let us stay there and use his place as a hideout. And then we did bring Tyr to him, or, you know, to his house, which ended up being Odin, so Atreus and Kratos kind of responsible for Brock's death a little bit, but, you know, how were they supposed to know that Tyr was Odin? I don't know. So hopefully he'll realize that, you know, this was just an unfortunate tragedy, but it is mostly Odin's fault. And maybe we can be friends again. But I don't know, it just seems like he's done with us. And, you know, like he was saying, telling Atreus, he kept giving us everything, you know? He's the one who, you know, crafted our armor, crafted our weapons, upgraded stuff. Gives us his place to stay. Everything. And, you know, what did we give him in return? I don't know. We gave him our friendship, but other than that, it's like, I don't know if we really gave him anything else. So, you know, we did take a lot from him, and then the final straw was just Brock. Brock's life gets taken away from him, and it is kind of Atreus and Kratos' fault. But not really. It's mostly Odin. Thank you to our friends and family, and finally we know that our passion for excellence affects our family, friends, and loved ones, and we consider them an immeasurable part of our success. Without their love, support, and understanding, this game would not have been possible. From the God of War team, a very special and Alfred, thank you. Oh. I had to read that really fast. I didn't have to, but, you know. Again, I want to thank the devs for freaking masterpiece of a game. I mean, these are the types of devs that actually care about their game. They have soul, you know, they actually put effort into making a game that's fun, that's tugs at your heartstrings and makes you feel emotions and stuff, and they just did a great job with this game. Unfortunately, a lot of AAA titles that come out nowadays don't have that soul. They don't have that passion behind it. But these devs, you can tell that they care. So I really, really appreciate them making this game. What was I talking about? So yeah, you know, we took everything from Sindri, so I can understand why he hates us, pretty much. And it sucks. But I don't know, we can't really do anything about it. And I wouldn't be surprised if, wait, special thanks to everyone who's been a part of the journey, the great relationships we've forged, and the great games we built together. Thank you for being a part of our growth and welcoming us into the PlayStation Studios family. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, they make another game or an expansion or something, and then Sindri ends up being a villain. I would hope that wouldn't happen, but it would make sense, at the very least. And then, you know, I think he hates Atreus and Kratos because they're somewhat responsible for Brock's death, but I also feel like he's really upset with himself. Because I was talking about this earlier, but he resurrected Brock, and when he did that, he knew that if Brock died again, that was it. And Brock's soul would be gone forever. You know, because I think the way it works, I don't know if it works like this. Anyway, somebody dies, your soul goes to wherever, I don't know, Valhalla, we'll say. At the very least, you have an afterlife, at least in this world. As far as we know, who knows if that's actually true. But you have an afterlife that you can look forward to. But when Sindri resurrected Brock, that afterlife was pretty much his second life, right? So after that, there's nothing else. So Brock is just gone forever. No soul left. That's just it. And Sindri probably feels guilty about that if he knows. And so he's angry with himself, and then a lot of this anger he's just taken out on Kratos and Atreus as well. That's what I'm thinking. But man, it's tough. Also, this cast has been great. Like I said, the acting in this game was really good. I really just really enjoyed it. So yeah, yeah, so the whole situation with Brock is like really tough to go through. And because I changed my mind about doing exploration stuff before everything happened with Brock, I had to reload an old save, you know, before we did that main mission. And then I went and did all the side stuff. But I had already gone through that cutscene once. So I don't really have too many reactions when I'm going through cutscene stuff. So, you know, you didn't really miss out on much. But when I went through it again, I knew it was coming. So I tried to take my reactions from the first time and like turn it up to 11, or, you know, tried to turn up the reaction a little bit. And I kind of did, but still, it's not much. But the point is, I had to go through that cutscene twice. And then I had to go through it again when I was editing. So, man, it's a tough cutscene to watch. Because, you know, Brock is a cool character, and you don't want to see him die. So, you know, unfortunately, I had to go through that multiple times, and it was not fun. But like I said, it was kind of necessary in terms of the storytelling. But I am happy with the end of the game. I mean, especially that last moment between Kratos and Atreus, like, it was extremely touching, you know. It does make me feel emotions, which just, it doesn't happen that often. It's weird. But, you know, I'm not the type of person who's just gonna start bawling and stuff. I feel the emotions, it's just I don't really show it too much. I don't know why, that's just the way I am. But, you know, if a story can get me to feel certain things, that says a lot about how well it's written. So, again, the story is just amazing. The gameplay was fun. I really enjoyed everything. The completion aspect of this game, like, it feels like it's made for completionists that want to do everything, because you have a nice checklist there. You get to, you know how to find things. It makes it easy to find things. Like, I thought it was going to be hard to find all the ravens, but pretty easy. I mean, mostly it was just, you know, you scroll over a certain area of the map and then see, are you missing a raven here? If you are, then you explore the area, and then you can hear the raven too. That helps a lot. And, yeah, they weren't too hard to find. And then you get rewarded for it. We had the raven tree, so we got, you know, some cool runic attacks. We got some cool armor. I mean, it's nice to be rewarded for your exploration. And then, you know, because I explored so much throughout the game, I had good armor, I had good weapons, I had good runic attacks. It made the end of the game relatively easy. So, you do get rewarded for your efforts. And that is a nice feeling. Because it's the worst when you play a game and you're just collecting stuff just to collect stuff. You know, like, you find these special items and stuff in a game, and then it's like, alright, you get a little description about it, maybe, in the menus somewhere, and then that's it. It doesn't actually help you level up or do anything. Those types of games, not super fun to explore. But this game, everything you found was pretty rewarding. And I'm glad. I mean, even the artifacts and stuff in this game, you got a little story there for each one. And it's like, you kind of learned about, you know, the history of the thing, or you might learn about a different mythology. You might learn about a certain character from mythology. I mean, it felt like everything was rewarding to do in this game. And that's good. So, yeah, I think that is pretty much it. You know, the Berserker fights, I'll go back to that. Those were rewarding as well, even though they were challenging and stuff. It was satisfying to get through that, and then you got cool things out of it, like the Berserker armor. That's pretty much what I used, and it seems like it might be the best armor in the game, at least for me, but I feel like all the armor in this game does have certain benefits. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's got some good things and it's got some bad things. You know, maybe it'll give you extra strength and defense, but it'll take away your runic and luck or something. So you kind of have to make those decisions. Maybe you mix and match armor so that you can, you know, maybe you like a certain piece of armor because it gives you a certain perk, and then you like another piece of armor that's different, but it gives you another perk, so I don't know. I have to go through like all the armor and see what would be useful to upgrade, and then see if I can mix things up. But I usually like to use just all the same armor pieces because, you know, aesthetics. But yeah, I imagine if you mix things up a little bit, you'll get even more benefits because you're getting different perks and stuff. So I don't know, I have to play around with that, but yeah, anyway. The Berserker fights were cool. I mean, a lot of the fights were cool. I don't know. Surprisingly, towards the beginning of the game, I was having a lot of trouble with just regular enemies. Like, it felt like it was too overwhelming. Like, you would be fighting all these enemies and they were just constantly surrounding you, and it felt like it was kind of hard to deal with that at the beginning of the game. But the more I played, I feel like maybe I got used to it, or maybe it's just because I was upgrading stuff so much that I just got used to it, you know? It didn't seem like it was that difficult, especially towards the end of the game. Like, it didn't really bother me too much. But it feels like they do throw a bunch of regular enemies at you, and that's a lot more challenging than something like a Berserker fight. Because with Berserker fights, once you learn their attack patterns, or, you know, their different attacks, then you just have to know how to counter those attacks. You know, do you have to parry it? Do you just block it? Do you dodge out of the way of it? When do they have an opening for an attack? Once you learn that, it's just about execution. So then you just try to survive as much as possible and then do what you need to do damage. Whereas with all the enemies they throw at you, it's kind of like you kind of have to keep an eye on, like, you know, 5 enemies at once, and it gets kind of difficult there. So in a way, the regular enemy fights might have been a little bit more challenging, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. But anyway, other gameplay aspects are just, they were all good. I like the addition of the spear, that was cool. The axe and the blades, pretty similar to the first game, but I just don't remember too well. It's been like 4 years since I played the last game, so it's not my fault. Well, actually it kind of is, but you know. Anyway, the combat is just really fun, and you do feel like a badass when you learn the combat. And I also like that certain enemies are weak to certain elements. So, you know, like fire enemies weak to your axe because your axe has frost. Or, you know, Helheim enemies, they have frost, so they're weak to your blades because the blades are fire. And then apparently the enemies that have, like, the gray health bar armor thing are weak to the spear. So everything has its purpose. And like I was saying earlier, I like that they added in the spear as part of the story. Like, they incorporated it to the story. So it wasn't just, here's a new weapon just because we need a new weapon. It was, okay, you're gonna get this spear because you need something to kill Heimdall, and Heimdall knows everything that's gonna happen, so you need to overwhelm him with stuff. So you create a spear that replicates itself, and you know, you throw a bunch of spears. Which one is gonna go off, he doesn't know. Then you detonate them all at once, and it's just overwhelming to his senses, I guess. I think that's how it worked. But I like that the spear had a purpose. So yeah, it was pretty cool. But once you learn the combat for everything, and you start learning to use your runics more often and everything, the game gets easier, kind of. And it also makes you just feel powerful, and I love that feeling. So, anyway. Apparently there are a lot of credits for this. I'm trying to think of what to talk about, because I've kind of talked about most things I wanted to talk about. But I don't know. So we have story, we have gameplay. I mean, the graphics, I don't think I need to say anything about that. The graphics look good. The game runs well. It's not super glitchy or anything. I didn't run into too many glitches. like I said earlier, maybe a glitch here or there with like enemy health bars or something. But other than that, it like everything worked the way it should. And unfortunately, that's kind of rare nowadays. A lot of games that come out are relatively unfinished because, you know, they can just update it later. But they want to get that game out in time for the release date. So, I don't know. And one of the things I'm glad about is with this game, you could tell that they released the game when it was ready. Because if they were just trying to hit this date, there would have probably been a lot more glitches and stuff. But no, they waited until the game was ready and then they released it. I think they didn't announce the release date until this year. Maybe at like E3 or something. Because they were always teasing, you know, God of War Ragnarok like every year. And then eventually they announced the release date, and I don't think it changed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they waited until the game was ready. And then they're all like, alright, God of War Ragnarok coming out in November. It's like, cool. And they didn't change it, as far as I remember. I'm not really sure. I try to avoid like a lot of the hype for this game, you know, a lot of the commercials and, you know, announcements with this game, because I wanted to try to avoid spoilers as much as possible. But unfortunately, because I played through it slowly, I did see some stuff, you know, people tweeting about crying, which makes me think, oh no, it's going to be a bad ending. But, it was a touching ending. You know, with YouTube, with making YouTube videos, I have to type in tags and stuff. So there was one time where I was trying to type like God of War Ragnarok Atreus gameplay, because we got to play as Atreus. But when I typed in Atreus and there's like an autofill thing, and it says Atreus death, and I'm like, what? No. Luckily that didn't happen. So, hopefully, knock on wood. So I was trying to avoid as much as possible, like in terms of spoilers. Like when I would look stuff up, I was always afraid I would see something accidentally, but I kind of like skimmed through things real quickly just to make sure. So for the most part, I did a pretty good job of keeping the ending unspoiled for me. I mean, I had a feeling we were going to fight Thor. I had a feeling we were going to fight Odin. I mean, just based on the story. But, yeah, in terms of what would happen at the end, I didn't really know. And then when I was watching the Video Game Award things, and they were playing the music and stuff, and it was like, I hope this isn't spoilers. So I tried to, like, avoid that as much as possible. They were showing something on the screen, and I was like, alright, don't look at the screen. But, I don't know. So, anyway. I forgot what I was talking about. I think that's pretty much it. Story, gameplay, game runs well. Time spent, I mean, the game took me what, like 51 hours or so far. I still haven't done everything in the game. I still have to do the Asgard stuff, the remnants of Asgard. And then I think we're probably gonna have a Valkyrie fight at some point, but I'm not sure about that. So we gotta do the thing with like Gana or whatever her name is. And then we also had to finish up the Berserker stuff too. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much more stuff we have to do, but I mean, I've gotten a lot of time out of this game, and I've enjoyed like every moment of it. It's been been really fun. And I'm so glad. Like I've said, a lot of games that have come out recently, they either feel unfinished or they feel uninspired. Like, they're just making a game just to make a game and make money. But this game is like, they actually cared about stuff. And you could tell. And it was just so enjoyable. And I don't know what else I can say. I mean, you can tell I really enjoyed this game, so play it. Play this game. I highly recommend it. This is a must play if you have a PlayStation. Again, I don't know if it's on PS4, but if you have PS5, like, I know you can play it. So play it. Man, it's such a good game. Same thing with God of War 2018. Like, they're both really good games. And I'm not going to say which one is better than the other because they're both great. And I'm trying to think, like, is this going to be my favorite game of all time? I think individually, maybe not. But if you look at both, like, God of War 2018 and Ragnarok, they're pretty close. I mean, usually I look at my favorite game series. I don't like to say my favorite game of all time because there's a lot of games that I like. But favorite game series, it is between God of War and Kingdom Hearts. Two completely different things. Like, you got God of War, which has a lot of violence and I mean, with the newer God of War stuff, the Norse mythology stuff, I feel like the writing is a lot more, it's a lot better. And it's a lot more, I mean, well written. Makes you feel emotions and stuff. It's not, doesn't feel as violent as the old God of War series used to be. So, regardless, this is still a pretty violent game. Like, some of the executions you can do in this game are brutal. But then you have Kingdom Hearts, which is a lot more cartoony, and you know, it's got another storyline that's kind of, oh boy, I hate it when I talk and then it's like I start having a burp or something. I apologize. But with Kingdom Hearts, you know, the story for that is also kind of touching if you can follow it. It's very convoluted and very confusing, but I like the Kingdom Hearts story. So, and the gameplay for Kingdom Hearts is fun to me. So, I don't know which one I like more. But, you know, it feels like they're two, like, opposite games. But they're also very similar, too. I like them both. But, you know, after playing Ragnarok, it's a very close tie of which one I like more. I think it depends on the time. Or just, it depends on how I'm feeling. Like, my opinion might change day to day. Like, maybe sometimes I'll say, oh, God of War is definitely a better series, or no, today I think Kingdom Hearts is a better series. I mean, they're both great, so it's hard to say which one's better. But anyway, the point is, God of War is one of my favorite series of all time, and it might even be my favorite one of all time. But, you know, it's tied with Kingdom Hearts. I like both. I have a lot of nostalgia with Kingdom Hearts, so that's also kind of the reason why it's tied. But anyway, the God of War series is just great. Especially with the Norse mythology stuff. So, play it. Play God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. And we get a trophy. Nice.
I don't know if there's anything beyond the light. Afterlives after afterlives or whatever you. But if there is, I imagine he's causing one crazy ruckus there.
I agree.
I wrote that dirge for him.
What's it called?
Something profane.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
Forgive Sindri. He's just, I mean, you know.
I know. I get it. Whoops. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a save here. We'll have this one. This will be that. Then I kind of want to go. I want to load. Which one? I'm not sure. So maybe this one. I'm gonna load one of these saves and create a second save. Because just in case, you know, doing everything in the game will affect the way this thing ends. So let me look at the map, make sure we got the Asgard thing. Alright, there's one over here that we haven't got, but we'll worry about that later. I need to take a break because my voice is dying. One last thing. I was hoping that... Oh yeah, you know what? I'll do a second save. Okay. So I know that the one with 5104 is the one where I went through Brock's funeral. And then this one is right before that. You know, that's just in case, you know, there's a difference in endings depending on how much stuff I do. But anyway, I wanted to see... Wait, what am I trying to say? It would have been nice to see, like, Atreus in this last cutscene. You know, when Freya shot the arrow to burn Brock's ship thing, boat. Like, I was really hoping that, you know, Atreus would just appear there with his bow and arrow, and he would be the one to light Brock's boat. But I don't know, that might have caused some issues with Sindri, I feel like. I mean, it would have been kind of nice to see Atreus pay his respects to Brock that way. But again, it might be overstepping, like, with Sindri. Like, he might have been really pissed off about that. So, I don't know. But, unfortunately, we didn't see Atreus there. I mean, obviously, he went off on his own, so... Yeah. Anyway. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about the game for right now. I'll probably have more to say later. I mean, we're not done with this game. We still have to go through each realm, get the remnants of Asgard stuff, fight a couple more berserkers, I think, and maybe fight a Valkyrie, or I don't know how that's going to work. But there's still a bunch of stuff left to do. So, again, this game is just fantastic. And now I can watch, you know, other people play this game or reviews of this without worrying, because now I don't have to worry about spoilers too much. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to finish it today. It's just, I wanted to get the game done so I could move on with stuff. Now I don't have to worry that much. Uh-oh. Oh, that's the wrong relic. Oh man, I'm getting wrecked. Okay. Nope. Nope. Stop it. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's why. I was pressing circle. Damn, this guy is tanky. Oh, that's good.
From behind! Incoming!
Okay, we gotta use our rage because I'm getting too close to death. See the red bar under his health bar? It shows me how much time is left on his stun. So I try to do as much damage and then I try to do a stun attack, but sometimes it doesn't work because I'm attacking too much. Alright.
Another camp defeated.
Aye, and one step closer to giving the realms a shot at healing.
We're actually almost done with this already. Yeah, but I'm gonna take a break here. But final thoughts on this game so far is just, it's great. It's a masterpiece. You definitely should play it. So, that's all I'm pretty much gonna say for right now. I'm going to go back and we'll continue. Well, actually, I'm gonna go look up to see if there's a different ending and stuff. So that's what I want to make sure. So I might have to do that fight again, but you know what? It's fine. Doesn't bother me. I like playing the game, so the more I get to play, the better. But yeah, that's gonna be it for God of War Ragnarok for right now. We will go ahead and complete the rest of the stuff later, but for right now I'm gonna focus on getting these videos made, and then we're gonna move on to completing this, and then maybe we'll even move on to God of War 2018 since I am used to the gameplay. So might be a good time to go back and revisit that, finish that game up too, because I didn't get to do everything in that game. But anyway, that is it. Play God of War Ragnarok. It is great. I love this game.
I'm running out in the
And,
Alpine Desert. There's something y'all are probably gonna want to see.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. And also, thank you for watching. If you watched any part of this playthrough, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let me know what you thought of the playthrough or the game in the comments down below. And if you want to see more playthroughs and stuff, you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel. So that is going to be it. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you all later.